Alam niyo mga kapuso, ayon sa mga experts, ang pinakamalalaking hadlang po sa pagsusulong ng bansa, sa pagsusulong ng ekonomiya, ay number 1, weak infrastructure. Hindi magandang infrastructure natin, roads, communication, etc. But number 2, and I think the more important, is yung tinatawag na weak governance, weak institutions. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Well, actually, ang short term for this weak governance, weak institutions ay the presence of corruption. Kaya ang kampanya ni President Aquino nung tumatakbo siya bilang presidente is magsusugpo ng corruption. It is correct. You destroy corruption or you reduce corruption and you increase the chances of inclusive growth and development. Tanda no ha? Okay. Ano ang nakita natin ngayong gabi? Ngayong gabi nakita natin na basehan sa yung mga campaign platforms ni Presidente, last year ang grado niya dun sa Movement for Good Governance na I happen to be a member of was 4.8 out of a possible 10 in terms of corruption. May 10 indicators yan. And those indicators, siya mismo nagsabi, ito ang gagawin ko para masugpo ang corruption sa atin. Yung appointment of the best people, yung SALN, papakita, transparency, freedom of information, may 10 yun. Okay. So what did we learn naman tonight from Vince and Sonny Coloma? Sonny Coloma obviously has to favor the president, but he seemed to be pretty objective in what he was saying. Of course, he was very enthusiastic. And Vince naman has been fighting corruption from his Transparency and Accountability Network for over 10 years. In other words, talagang porsigido sila. Tumaas ang grado ni Presidente. And I tend to agree with them that yes, it shows yung second year of his presidency, there has been greater efforts and greater success against corruption. So ang nakuha po, ang binigay na grado from the calculations ni Vince kay President Aquino for this year is 6 out of a possible 10. Ang 7.5 dyan means talagang on track, ha? Aba, hindi pala magkalayo si Sonny Coloma kay Vince Lazatin because Sonny Coloma kept on saying 8. Pero nung inisa-isa natin, 7.3 pala ang average. Great. There has been improvement. Ang problema lang po is napakalala ang problema ng korupsyon dito sa ating bansa that para bang napakababaw ng kaligayahan natin if we are going to be very happy about it. Why do I say that? Tignan niyo po, what the international perception of us, yung tinatawag na Global Corruption Index na ginagawa ng Transparency International every year. Talaga, tumaas po tayo ang grado natin sa Global Corruption Index from 2.4 in 2010, naging 2.6 tayo in 2011. Kaya lang, mga kapuso, ang range dyan is from 0, the most corrupt, to 10, the least corrupt. E nasa 2.4, pumunta tayo sa 2.6. Hindi naman pwede tayong very happy. Pero that seems to be the case. Wow, we went from 134 rank to 129 rank. Diyos ko, hindi ba yan talagang napakababaw ng kaligayahan natin? Yes, it's true. Meron tayong another index, tinatawag na Justice Rule of Law Index. Because all of these indices, if mababa, it means talagang weak ang institutions natin. And the reason why our institutions are weak is because of the endemicity of corruption. Okay, so talagang it's a very important thing. So let's look. For example, in the Justice of Rule of Law Index, talaga nga naman. So it's not just the Global Perception Index, it's not just our people, but other international agencies. Ang ating score sa absence of corruption in 2010 was 0.45. Ito naman from 0 to 1. So 0.45 medyo mababa tayo. Noong 2011, naging 0.58 na tayo. Malaking improvement yan. But we are still very low. That is the situation. And kumpara po, ayan ang it makes you very sad. For example, kumpara sa region natin, alam nyo, out of 13 countries in the East Asia and Pacific region, number 10 po tayo. Mabuti na lang hindi tayo pinakamababa. Okay? But, that's the good news. The bad news is, wow. Ayan nga, we're fighting and fighting against corruption. Maybe nahuhuli natin yung mga corrupt. Tignan naman natin kung gaano ka-effective yung criminal justice system natin. Effectiveness of the criminal justice system. This is one of the indicators of the Justice and Rule of Law Index. In 2010, ang ating effectiveness was 0.53. Just a little over half. In 2011, bumaba po yan sa 0.45. From 0.53 to 0.45 in a range of 0 to 1. It means na, ayan nga, going after crooks and corruption, etc., tapos pala, nahahadlang tayo, naistangka tayo because of the ineffectiveness of our criminal justice system. Ano ang punot dulo nito? Ang punot dulo nito is we have a long way to go. But it is so important for us, mga kapuso, to understand that we have got to be part and parcel of the fight against corruption. The president cannot do it alone. The government cannot do it alone. The businessmen cannot do it alone. Kailangan kasama po tayo dyan. Kung hindi po tayo sasama, walang pag-asa ang ating bansa. Because as we said, right, at the bottom of it all is the weakness of our governance system, and what makes our governance system weak is corruption. You want good government, you want a developing country that has potential, then kailangan po tayong lahat kasama again in this fight against corruption. What does that mean? It means on our level, on the street level, wag po tayo babayad ng mga tong-tong dyan. Wag po tayo babayad sa mga polis na nangongolekta. Wag po babayad tayo sa mga facilitator. Kasi kung nagbabayad tayo, tayo rin ay corrupt. You want to fight corruption? Then you be part of the fight against corruption. And you start. We will all start with ourselves. Kung hindi po tayo sasama dito sa war against corruption, sasawayin po tayo ni Mareng Winnie. Kasi alam nyo naman, Mareng Winnie, bawal ang pasaway sa kanya.